One Piece chapter 722. Oda sure as hell knows how to drop a bombshell, man. Like, I'm getting all excited because the whole thing with Rebecca and like the fights and all that, and I'm laughing my ass off when Cavendish just shows up as a literal white knight. Like, oh man, I don't know, man. Like, that red pill shit didn't exist back then, but I mean, the fact that, Oda has this dude showing up on a white knight and is going to bat for Rebecca, and it's just like, how dare you people say this about the lovely woman? How dare you people? If you're going to call for her to die, you come in the ring and you take up arms yourself, you scoundrels. And all of a sudden, everybody's just cheering for him even more. Like, the women were on his side, and all the men are on his side, too. And this dude has delusions of grandeur. He's just like, yeah. Did you call me a star reporter? Oh, I can't believe it. He's already doing his post-match interview. I hope Rebecca knocks his ass out. But, he does make a good point. He tells Rebecca, he's like, hey, forget that we even had this conversation. Forget that I did what I did for you. From this point on, we're all enemies. We're enemies at this point. And you just see the battle just taking place. It's 137 different combatants, right? And I can get why Oda decided not to draw out all the individual fights. What he's probably going to end up doing is, focusing more on the Doflamingo and Law stuff. And then after all this is taken care of, right? After all this is taken care of, once it gets down to a few fights, he'll probably focus on those. But, I mean, this is interesting. On one hand, from the narrative perspective, I could see why Cavendish will win because of his beef with Luffy. But Luffy doesn't need two people in the finals that he needs to be going against. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. On one hand, like, Bartolomeo is in this dude's corner, and having Violet there basically be like three people with one person Luffy has to take down. But, I'm unsure. Like, if Rebecca loses, doesn't that mean she gets killed then? That's the thing. Like, she kind of has to win in order for, and I hate saying this, right? I hate saying this, but she kind of has to win because Luffy's ultimately going to be the one that wins the tournament. And she has to win so Luffy can get a life spared. That's just what I think. Again, I might be wrong on that. And I just said a few chapters ago, I was like, man, I hate female characters that depend on somebody. But in this case, she needs it. She needs it because the situation that she's in. It doesn't take away anything from her character, in my opinion. But with all that being said, just the fact that, she's staring all that in the face. And then when you get the ending where Doflamingo is talking, it just makes you appreciate the situation she's in all the more. And I'm going to touch on that in a second, but I want to, go back to the other information that's revealed in this chapter, right? So, obviously you got like the running gag of, Zoro can't tell his right from his left, and the fairy has to tell Mr. Left is the side that you don't have your swords on, and they're running around, and then all of a sudden Violet just shows back up when Sanji gets reintroduced to Zoro, and Sanji's just like, oh, I gotta go save Nami. And he's on that white knight shit too. He's like, I gotta go save Nami. And then Violet shows up and he's just trolling around, and Zoro's just like, oh my God, hope you get stabbed in a fit of passion. Like, Zoro just throwing the shade, man. Zoro just throwing the shade. I love it too. I love their reaction. I love how he's just like, yeah, you can call him twirling Browland. Like, just the shit talking, man. I love this dude, man. I love Zoro. But what's also interesting about that whole dynamic is you can tell Violet has some more information to give to Sanji, because she tells him like, yeah, this member of Doflamingo's family is the one who's attacking your ship where Nami's on. But then when you get to the actual ship, it looks like Brook has just completely changed. And at first, I thought this was going to be one of those wacky chapters, right? I thought this was going to be one of those little wacky chapters where you got like whenever you get the funky chapters where the crazy shit's going on, I always have this music playing in my head where it's like, funky ass music, like just the cartoony type music where it's just like, what the hell? And you got Brook, and he's like, I can't wait to be part of your masterpiece. Can't wait to be part of your collection. Let me pose a song for you. And all of a sudden you find out that he's just playing this woman. And what's cool about it is that's right, with Momonosuke and Chopper and them are like, I'm getting tired. And you find out that after 10 minutes, they become part of her dying art collection. So, you know, essentially Brook just saved her life. And it's very cold how he does it because he plays the music and then he slices her up without her even realizing it. And it looks like Brook has been turned back to its normal size. So that's going to be really cool, man. That's going to be really cool, the fact that, you know, now the Straw Hat ship is back on its way to the green bit. And when they get there, now they got to deal with Doflamingo and the Admiral. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting how it goes. You know, that's probably going to be a moment where Law has to tuck tail and run away. Now, speaking of Law, I hate the fact that the Law versus Doflamingo and the Admiral fight was essentially done off screen. But when you get little nuggets like this, Oda just took the world building and just blew it all the way up. Blew it all the way up. And we get this huge revelation about Vivi and about the Nefertiti family. You get this huge revelation. And it's second to only finding out what happened with Doflamingo's family. And this is one of those moments where, like, world building, Oda, I get an orgasm when Oda does world building like this, man. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, like, just go right back. I'm going to read what's being said here on the final 2 pages. Because this is huge, man. This is huge. So essentially, Doflamingo, after Law's been defeated, and you got the Admiral, and he's just kind of sitting there, you know, listening like it's story time. And Doflamingo says, I'm going to tell you a tale, Law. Over 8 centuries old, Law, when 20 kings from 20 kingdoms came to the center of the world and established one massive power, that creation was today's world government. And their creators, those kings, brought their families with them to the Holy Land. Those 19 families, excepting only the Nefertiti line of Alabasta, who refused the honor, have lived there ever since, ruling the world. The descendants of the creators are known today as the Celestial Dragons. That is huge. That is huge. And in a way, that would explain why Alabasta was targeted. That would explain it, especially if you know the history of the world government. Somebody like Crocodile probably know that. That's huge. That is, oh my God, that is huge. But it doesn't even stop there. It doesn't even stop there. So right here, of course, this means that over 800 years ago, 19 kingdoms lost their kings. See where I'm going with this? These countries all needed successors, you understand, and that led to the formation of brand new dynasties. Here in Dressrosa, for example, the new royal family was the Riku dynasty, but the creators, the ones who left for the Holy Land, Doflamingo's family, yo. So that means Doflamingo's a descendant of the Celestial Dragons, or he's related to them in some type of way. And the other thing is, like, his family left from Dressrosa, so he's the rightful king. Oh man, this is wow. This is some Game of Thrones shit right here. This is some straight Game of Thrones shit, where everyone's like, who's the rightful heir to the Iron Throne? Ooh, wee. When I tell you world building, like Oda, like whenever One Piece ends, right? Whenever One Piece ends, Shueisha could just automatically just say, hey, we want a spin-off based on the 800-year period. We want a spin-off based on the tales of the King of the Pirates, Roger. I'd be more interested in what happens in the blank period if Oda doesn't go into full exposition on it, because wow, that is some straight Game of Thrones shit. Wow. Like, I thought Game of Thrones world building was next level, right? And it is. If you read the novels, like fuck the TV show. But if you read the Game of Thrones novels, like the world building's insane. And I like the TV show too, don't get me wrong, but novels are way better. But One Piece, the world building in One Piece is far and away some of the best shit that I've read when it comes to shonen, because this is huge. This has ramifications. It's just huge ramifications, because like Luffy's already had a run-in with the Celestials now. Now you look at what he's got. if he takes down Doflamingo, he's really gonna be wanted. Wow. Wow. Let me know what you guys thought about this bombshell, man. Yeah, you guys know where I'm coming from. Like, wow, I'm stunned, man. I'm stunned. I can't believe this one right here, man. This is an information dump, man. I'm gonna have to process this shit. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching, all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.